Hello again. Today I want to go over something that's really important, and it is what is your why? You might ask, why is that important? And when I first got into this, I didn't understand it. I thought something like, I don't want to be broke anymore. I thought, well, I want to be able to travel. I want to be able to have things. I thought those were important enough to be my why, and they weren't strong enough. It wasn't strong enough to get me to bed when I didn't feel like moving forward, when I was depressed, when I didn't have the tools to get better, when I was laying in bed, broken, having memory loss from a concussion. That wasn't strong enough for me to really move forward in changing my life. So I really encourage you to find a strong why. Find a really big reason to do this. It might be to, help your mother who helped you growing up to have a better life. It might be to have a family, to have the freedom to spend more time with your family, to be able to take them on vacations and spend time with them and enjoy them instead of, a couple weeks off a year to spend that actually like that quality time. Maybe that is what gets you out of bed. You want to spend more time with your kids. Maybe there's just so many big reasons to make your why that to simply have $1 million in the bank isn't enough. It's the same thing as your desires, right? If your desires are simple, I want $1 million. Well, to be honest, that's not going to bring you a lot of happiness, right? So if you're moving towards, having desires of wanting specific places to live and skill sets and things to have and experiences to have, things to share with other people, it's going to be much stronger. Same with your why, right? The stronger it is, the stronger your motivation will be. I wanted to change my life. That was my first why. I wanted to move forward. I wanted not to be depressed. I wanted, and all these things that really didn't get me going. It was still a struggle. And it wasn't till I got to a point where I was seeing that I was changing other people's lives by changing myself, when the people that I was helping and working with were having success and they were getting the tools that they needed to succeed, and I started seeing their lives change and the happiness grow and these miraculous things happening in their lives, that's when my why really became apparent to me. And my desire, my why, is to give people all the tools they need to in order to succeed, because this might be selfish, but I get off on other people's success. I get off by seeing other people really happy. For some reason, it's hard for me to do things for myself to make my life happy, and helping other people find their happiness, find their joy, make big changes in their life, and really go after their desires brings me joy. It's what gets me up in the morning. I can't explain it to you, why where the block is. I haven't figured that out. Maybe one day I will, of why it's so difficult for me to do that for myself. It's much easier to look at what I can do for others. And you might be in this boat. You might be in a spot where you're like, my biggest desire, my why, is to help my children have a much better life than I do. It might be to elevate others. It might be to be able to help other people. It might be, you know, I'd encourage you to stay away from, you know, my why being I want a nice boat or a car or a house or all those things. Those things will come. Those are desires. Those are things that you know, when you get them, you'll be, you know, hopefully you'll have that happiness feeling. Look at your why as something that gets you out of bed, that motivates you, that when you're tired, when you don't feel like listening to the audiobook or doing the steps, that it's going to get you going. It's going to fire you up. It's you know, going to push you past that point where you've made some mistakes and you had some failures and you're frustrated, and you're going to keep going. There's a point for everybody where it's difficult and you can quit, right? That's where failure comes in. It's when you quit. Failure is a choice. And it's funny because you never actually fail. Even if you give up, you don't fail because you can pick it up again later. And with this business that I'm in, that, you know, hopefully my desire is that you're a part of as well at some point, you may put it down for a bit, but you haven't failed because you can pick it up again and keep going. You can take a break, go, whoa. However, if your why is so strong that you can't fail, you can't quit, you'll have all the success you ever want. It's that simple, right? So what is going to motivate you? What's going to get you through those hard times? Think about this. Take your time. Write down every single possible idea you could have, and eventually, something's going to pop. You might have it right away. You might just, you're like, yeah, it's my kids, or giving my mother the life that she, a single mom who raised me. It might be that you have a charity foundation that you want to, that you have a desire to, be able to source out and give a whole bunch of money to. You might have a why right away. However, if you don't, I really encourage you to, brainstorm, put all the ideas out there, and then let it pop, let it come to you, let it, that thing that, you can write on your mirror or your whiteboard or whatever else, and every time you have a doubt in your head or are lacking motivation, you look at that and go, yeah, that lights a fire under me. So take your time, look at your why, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.